Councilmember Amir Faroki, Councilmember Byron Amos, our Vice Chair, Liliana Batiari, Councilmember Howard Shook, and Councilmember Andrea Boone on the committee, and also being joined by Councilmember Mary Norwood. I would like to make a motion to adopt today's agenda. Okay, it's been properly moved by Vice Chair Batiari, seconded by, was it Jason? Jason Winston. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda is adopted.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 3rd meeting. Is there a second? Please open the vote.
Oh, it's February 3rd. Sorry, no, my fault. Vote is open. Vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
Great, thank you so much. I would like to make, colleagues, the 2025 draft objectives have been distributed to you via email and is included in your committee packets. Wanted to give you guys wanted to see if there's a motion to adopt the 2025 goals and objectives. Okay. All right, a motion has been made by Vice Chair Liliana Batiari. There's been a second by Councilman Howard Shook. Any discussion?
Vote is open.
Hearing none, vote is open.
Can all council members please vote?
I'm sorry, item E is the consent agenda. Yes, 2025 committee council goals and objectives. Yep. Thank you, Mary.
Vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. 7 yeas, 0 nays. The 2025 Committee on Council Goals and Objectives have been adopted.
Great, thank you so much. All right, I would like to make a motion to adopt today's full council agenda. Okay, it's been properly seconded by Vice Chair Batiari. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. The full council agenda has been adopted.
Great, thank you so much. This now brings us to our public comment portion of the agenda. When I call your name, please approach the podium and you will have 3 minutes. First on the list is, I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly, is that Lonnie Millen. Lonnie Milan. Give me 1 second.
He yielded time to Brother Muhammad.
Okay, nope. All right, next up, Brother Muhammad, and your time has been, Mr. Milan has yielded your time. You have 6 minutes.
I am Brother Anthony Muhammad. I am that I am, the power. I am the aboriginal, the indigenous man here in North America. This is what we call, in this month, ACOI, Atlanta Commission on Women, we call this the Black History Month. ACOI, you were established in 1994. Black History Month was started by a man they called Carter G. Woodson. Why did they start this month as the holiday, the miseducation of the Negro? It's the book this brother wrote in 1933. Hear me now. That was just before 1915, when you had the president to have a debut in his office in 1915, the birth of the nation, the Ku Klux Klan. happened before then in 1868, the 19th century. We had been given the 14th Amendment, Mr. Trump. I thank you, Mr. Trump. You said the 14th Amendment do not allow migrants to come into the America without having been vetted and have their right to be. But that's the 14th Amendment was given to ADOS. In 1868, the 14th Amendment added section, what they call special section. 1891. What is 1891 to the 14th Amendment special section? Any person that looked like me, Mr. Amos, it said dark, anti-matter people, which y'all call black people, should have the same right, Mr. Farokhi, Mr. Shirk, Ms. Norwood, as in the Caucasian, though, in contracts and in what, Mr. Amos? But we're not even doing that in the 21st century. This is the 21st century. We don't even have the policies that when I come to City Hall for the last several years now, since before you come here, Mr. Amos, we don't even have the support for ACAL. Ms. Barker-Terry, last year, she had asked that I could have the opportunity, Brother Muhammad, to go to the meetings for ACAL every second Tuesday. And I would have someone to let me know that. And I had a number to call somebody. So I could go express the interest, let's have some houses developed. ACAL, a non-commission on women, was started in 1994. Why is it that we ain't got no support for our people you see on the street? But Ms. Barker-Terry said, Brother Muhammad, I'm gonna allow you to go sit in. And I was telling someone this morning, I have never yet sit in because I thought they would take the time to pick up the phone and let them know that I'm coming in. I want to make sure, Ms. Barker-Terry. But I still want to know if I have an opportunity this year to sit with ACAL with the second meeting and whoever is the chairman today. Because Black History Month, go back to miseducation of the Negro. Carter G. Woodson said, what, Mr. Amos? You, Mr. Winston? He said this in 1922. Because in 1920, they blowed up that city y'all know called Black Wall Street. So I'll be back another day and talk about it. But let's stick with what I was saying. Y'all remember Black Wall Street? All this before the 21st century. These brothers had businesses. They had churches. They had restaurants, 21 restaurants, all of this. They had movie theaters. They had grocery stores. They had post office. They had their own city provided for people who look like them. There was no Caucasian they were worried about. They were worried about their own, but the Caucasian blew it up, Mr. Sure, you know the story. But why in the 21st century that we celebrate ACAL, celebrate Black History Month, that we don't have a voice of you people that look like me, Ms. Boone, to help the people have access to housing, help the people have access to opportunities. Our brothers and sisters should have reparation now. I heard Mr. Barnes say, we're going to talk about it. Ain't brought a committee yet to talk about it. But why is it that we can continue to let you members of the 21st century not want to do for the people living on the street? You got sisters and brothers can't even find a place to stay. You don't care. You take your little money, you gave yourself an increase, almost $100,000. And y'all still won't make no way for the poor women and children to have a place to stay. You won't even do anything about people on the street. You let your transportation department or the public works department run over a man. A dog man. That's what y'all doing in the 21st century. You ain't caring. Why is it that? But I think Mr. Trump, though, because he's exposing the Democratic Party. He's exposing you 21st century individuals. Long y'all get y'all payment and get y'all niggas to Sorrow and all the other people got money, you satisfied. But I ask you to listen now. I'm a spiritual soulful man, and I know my ancestors listen to me. Now I want you to know, you're going to have to do better. Because the time is up for y'all to keep playing this game like y'all really doing something for your constituents. Because as I say, Mr. Amos, you got to hit with 500 votes. And young Brother Winston, you didn't get too much more than that. There's nothing enough. People don't even come out to vote no more because they don't see the support. But I come down here and ask y'all, let's do something for the benefit of the miseducation of the Negro. It's time for you want to do right by your people. It's time for you want to stand up and speak for those who can't do for themselves. My time is up.
Yes.
I greet you in the words of peace and power that's in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. We will now hear from Joshua Everett.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Everett, and I'm a senior community organizer and District 10 resident, speaking on behalf of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. We call on this committee not to pass 2501-009 as written, and instead make needed changes to protect the citizens of Atlanta. First, language in the current draft gives the clear impression that the OIG would not be authorized to conduct criminal investigations. For example, bribery or unlawful abuses of power that violate city, state, or federal criminal law. These are the exact kinds of investigations that the OIG was created to do. The office was created in 2020 after a federal investigation led to criminal indictments of nearly a dozen people on bribery and other related charges for the improper use of public funds, such as luxury travel and the purchase of custom-built machine guns. The OIG must continue to be able to conduct these criminal investigations. Second, this bill must not compel city employees to give statements to the OIG during investigations. The simple solution is that employee statements are voluntary, not compelled, and that employees are fully informed in advance that they have the option but are not required to provide statements. We refer the committee to language that was proposed by the Southern Center for Human Rights as an excellent substitute for the language currently in the bill. We urge you to implement the changes we've proposed today, and we thank you for your time and consideration of these recommendations.
Thank you. We will now hear from Ken Roblin.
Good morning, council members. 2501-009. Designed to create separate governing boards for the Office of Inspector General and the Ethics Office. The Inspector General looks for waste, fraud, and abuse. The Ethics Office is making sure everyone is honest. The state says Atlanta is filled with corruption, and that is why they have to take over the airport. Now, so far, they haven't taken it over, but they know how to do it, and they've been saving up. So watch out. I got to get this closer. The current Inspector General seems bound and determined to end corruption in Atlanta. People on the outside, non-Atlantans, are looking for Atlanta for leadership. And the taxpayers of Atlanta are looking to you for leadership. What happens if the corruptors nominate people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk to these boards? If Donald Trump has fired 17 inspector generals, Elon Musk has fired thousands of federal employees. Do you think the people appointed to the boards will care about Atlanta's taxpayers. This is an election year, and some of you may not get reelected. If you're smart, you'll file 25-1009. Thank you.
Thank you. That now concludes today's public comment. Ms.
Madam
Albertson?
Chair, that brings us to the legislative portion of our agenda, starting with communications item number 1, 24C5142, a communication from Tony Roberts, Executive Director and CEO of the Atlanta Bar Association, submitting the appointment of Ms. Andrea Biha to serve as a member of the Atlanta Citizens Review Board. This appointment is for a term of 3 years. Madam Chair, this comes to the committee with the recommendation to file by Public Safety and the Legal Administration Committee. The subject of the communication has resigned from the Atlanta Citizens Review Board.
All right, I have a motion to file by Vice Chair Batiari, a second by Councilman Amos. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. The item is filed. If there are no objections, can we take items number 2 and 3 as a block?
Are there any objections to taking the appointments for the Atlanta Commission on Women and the City of Atlanta Americans with Disability Act Advisory Committee as a block? Hearing no objections?
Actually, wait. I'm sorry, disregard that. Item number 2, 25C0007, a communication from Council President Doug Shipman appointing Ms. Jennifer Freeman to serve as a member of the Atlanta Commission on Women. This appointment is for a term of 2 years.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a motion to approve by Vice Chair
One
Batiari.
moment. Is Ms. Freeman in attendance today?
Yes. Yes, Ms. Freeman is here.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yes. Ms. Freeman, you have the floor.
Okay. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's fine. I wanted to, first of all, say good morning to Madam Chair and committee members. I also would like to express my sincere gratitude for approving me for confirmation to serve on the Atlanta Commission on Women. My prior experience on the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board and the Beltline TADAC, along with my partnerships and community service endeavors with organizations such as the YWCA, House ATL, Girl Scouts, Hosea Helps, and Helping Hands, has deepened my commitment to advocating for women and girls' rights and enhancing their quality of life in Atlanta. As a lifelong resident of Southwest and Northwest historic neighborhoods, a mother and a grandmother, I feel the profound responsibility to contribute to the success, viability, and sustainability of our community and its stakeholders. My professional background spans all levels of government, as well as private and nonprofit sectors. And I'm eager to bring my skills, talents, and expertise to the committee. Thank you again for this opportunity to serve on the Atlanta Commission on Women. Thank you so much for your time and attention.
Thank you so much. Now, I may entertain, would you like to say something?
Yes, I would like to thank Ms. Jennifer Freeman for offering her talents and time to this very prestigious board. Thank you on behalf of the thousands of citizens of District 10. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and I have a motion to approve by Vice Chair Batiari, a second by Byron Amos. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open. May all council members please vote? Vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable.
Great, thank you all so much. Congratulations, Ms. Freeman. We look forward to seeing your service on the Atlanta Commission of Women.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That brings us to item number 3, 25C0009, a communication from Attorney James Radford submitting the appointment of Ms. Maria Sudnikova to serve as a member of the City of Atlanta Americans with Disabilities Act Advisory Committee.
She's not with us she's not with us today.
She appeared before Transportation Committee on,
Yes. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So before we entertain the motion, please, any council members?
I wish Maria was here, but I understand she already appeared before committee. I've been lucky enough to know this person for many, many years, and I cannot think of a better individual to be appointed to this committee. So, motion to approve.
Great, thank you. Have a motion by Vice Chair Batiari, a second by Councilman Shook. We will now open it for a vote.
vote is open. Vote is closed, 7 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. That brings us to our communications and resolutions. If there is no objectives, we will take items number 4 and 5 as a block.
Yep. Wanted to make sure there are no objections to items 4 and 5, which entails the appointees of 2 individuals to the Atlanta Development Authority, also known as Invest Atlanta. Any objections? No? Ms. Overton, you have it.
All right, item number 4, 25R3152, a resolution by Committee on Council appointing the Atlanta Board of Education's nominee, Mr. Ken Zeft, to the Board of Directors of the Atlanta Development Authority, doing business as Invest Atlanta for a term of 4 years, scheduled to begin on the date of approval of this resolution and for other purposes. And item number 5, 25R3135, a resolution by Committee on Council appointing Ms. Audra L. Cunningham to the Board of Directors of the Atlanta Development Authority, doing business as Invest Atlanta, as a City Council appointee in the business category for a term of 4 years, said term to begin upon approval of this resolution and for other purposes.
Excited to see Dr. Ken Zeft is replacing me as the Board of Education nominee. So we'll now, I move to approve these 2 individuals from item 4 and 5, seconded by Vice Chair Batiari. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed, 7 yeas, 0 nays. The items are favorable. This brings us to our ordinances for second reading, starting with item number 6, it's 2501-009, an ordinance by council members Howard Shook and Marcy Colley Overstreet, Mary Norwood, Andrea L. Boone, Dustin Hillis, and Byron D. Amos, as substituted by Finance Exec Committee, as substituted to by and amended by Committee on Council, and as amended to by Atlanta City Council, to amend the charter of the City of Atlanta, Georgia, 1996, GA Laws P. 4469 et sequitur, adopted under virtue and authority of the Municipal Home Rule Act of 1965, Official Code of Georgia, annotated Section 36-35-1 et sequitur, as amended by amending Part 1, Charter and Related Laws, Subpart A, Charter, Article 3, Executive, in accordance with the recommendations of the City of Atlanta Temporary Task Force charged with reviewing the process and procedures of the Office of Inspector General, the Ethics Office, and the Governing Board of the Office of Inspector General and the Ethics Office regarding the authority, oversight, and clarification of respective roles and responsibility of the OIG and the Ethics Office, and to create separate governing boards for the OIG and the Ethics Office and for other purposes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Overton. All right, would like to open up for discussion? Okay. I have a motion before we entertain the motion, there was just one question for clarity. Madam City Attorney, can you please clarify the compelled and voluntary statement piece of this legislation?
The legislation is currently before the board, does not make any changes to the fact that the employees are compelled currently to participate in investigations of the OIG. We want to make certain that people are encouraged to facilitate investigations. And so what will happen is there will probably be standard operating procedures, which will make certain that there are forms telling employees about their rights and how the statements can be used against them if they do participate and have something. Well, they won't be used against them because they're being compelled. So the form will make sure that the rights are specified.
But those standard operating procedures is for the governing board to create and discuss along with the Inspector General.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Great. All right, we have a motion to, before we entertain, I just want to thank you. I just want to thank my colleagues on this committee for all the work that we've done in terms of getting this legislation to a fair balance point. If you look, we have restored the board. We have restored the governing boards on both entities and also have found balance along with the Inspector General's request and the administration. So as my first chairing this committee, just wanted to thank my colleagues for the hard work that we've been able to do over the last 7 weeks of making this legislation a solid one. With that being said, I have a motion to approve by Councilman Shook, a second by Councilwoman Andrea Boone. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 6 yeas, 1 nay. The item carries.
Thank
Ma-
you.
Madam Chair, item number 7 is ready to come off of the held items list. The item has completed its statutory required advertisement period. This is item number 7, 2401684, an amended ordinance by the Committee on Council to establish the salaries for the mayor, council president, and members of the council for terms of office beginning January 2026 and for other purposes.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay. It has been properly moved by Councilman Howard Shook, seconded by Vice Chair Lilian Batiar. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 6 yeas, 1 nay. The item is favorable. Madam Chair, that concludes our legislative items for today.
Great, thank you so much. We do not have any walk-in legislation or requested items, and so with that, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn today's meeting. Moved by Councilman Shook. Do I have a second? Great, thank you. All in favor, meeting is now adjourned.